Godzilla had literally used this against the Queen Muto, or the female Muto, by blasting her head off and basically shooting down the atomic breath down her throat. So MechaGodzilla was just about to do this, and I don't want to go too much into what happens after this, but there are specific things that involve Kong that are really going to satisfy you guys. So of course, he doesn't end up doing this. Neither Godzilla or Kong actually die here, but MechaGodzilla is absolutely ruthless. If you guys were actually looking for, I guess you could say, a legitimate villain in the MonsterVerse, MechaGodzilla is definitely A+. Dare I say, even more impressive than King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah was trying to basically get the other monsters and assert himself as the Alpha Titan, which was fine, but MechaGodzilla here did not care about anyone or anything, and this is why in this movie you guys are really going to like MechaGodzilla, because he was out to actually kill. He was out to rip Godzilla apart, and credit goes out to Godzilla for holding his own in this fight, because there were certain moments where we get to see how you can compare Kong versus Godzilla in these fights, and dare I say I think Godzilla did a little bit better until towards the end. But if by some chance you're going to complain and talk about spoilers, why'd you show off MechaGodzilla, well, you might want to address Adam Wingard first, who went along to do this on his Instagram, right? So the cat's out of the bag. If by now you are not familiar with MechaGodzilla being in the movie, then you're either just ignorant or flat out stupid, because this has been a thing ever since 2020 when merchandise and toy leaks were around. People have seen this, people have heard about this for quite some time, so it's really nothing new at this point. The only thing that is new is seeing them actually fight, which we're about to get into in just a few seconds. So in case some of you guys were wondering, oh, I didn't want MechaGodzilla to be ruined or spoiled or whatever, it's been out of the bag for months, almost a year now, so not my problem, it's not anyone's problem. Adam Wingard went on to post pictures of this himself, so if you want to blame anybody, I guess you could say blame the marketing team. Now, as of course you guys can see in the next image ahead, there is a specific fight scene where MechaGodzilla literally gets the better of Godzilla, which I want you guys to also remember. MechaGodzilla is constructed out of the strongest known material or metal that comes from the Hollow Earth. So I think in this movie, not even Godzilla in a one-on-one fight can really do anything to break or destroy this metal, so it's interesting to see how once these two actually end up engaging, despite Godzilla's best efforts, he really can't do anything against MechaGodzilla until, of course, the end of the movie. But with MechaGodzilla clutching onto Godzilla's skull, he went on to drag, and I mean literally drag Godzilla all throughout Hong Kong. He's slamming his face and head through buildings, he's slamming him on the ground, and what also makes MechaGodzilla really formidable is the fact that even though he appears to be slow and kind of clunky, there are these rocket thrusters and boosters that he has on his spine, on his back, on, you know, the sides of where he's constructed from to give him leverage over Godzilla, which means he can hit harder, he can come at you a bit faster, and poor Godzilla didn't really have a chance during some of these scenes, and I think you guys are really going to like. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact you guys are going to love MechaGodzilla here a lot more than King Ghidorah, only because the way MechaGodzilla goes about fighting everybody is absolutely ruthless. He doesn't care about anybody, doesn't care about anything, all he cares about is destruction. And I want you guys to also pay attention to one crucial thing. In this movie, when MechaGodzilla fights, it looks like he's only targeting Godzilla. Even when Kong fights him, he kind of disregards Kong and wants to go after Godzilla. He specifically wants to go after Godzilla by any means necessary. Now, as of course you guys can see, this is the infamous beam struggle between MechaGodzilla and Godzilla, and I really do hope that going forward, right, if Legendary, if they still want to collab and do stuff with Toho in allowing, you know, licensing for their kaiju to be issued out and for Legendary to continue to expand the MonsterVerse, I really do hope that somewhere down the line we get to see another, I guess you could say, mecha monster, because MechaGodzilla, even though he was showcased to be, I would say, a little bigger than Kong, a little bigger than Godzilla, the force behind his attacks are something that you guys are really going to like. Maybe it's the fact that Godzilla and Kong were kind of worn out during their fight against each other, so MechaGodzilla has the advantage. But there were certain moments in the movie where MechaGodzilla was shown having to use these rockets and, you know, thrusters and boosters from his shoulder, from his tricep, from his body. It was insane. MechaGodzilla is just one giant walking weapon. So the beam clash, I think you guys are really going to enjoy, because the way MechaGodzilla kind of thrusts forward and shoots out additional power that sends Godzilla flying back is something that I think you guys are really going to like, because it's everything you guys wanted to see in a monster fight, and without question, this was the best, I would say arguably, monster fight so far in the Godzilla MonsterVerse per se, right? Way better than Godzilla vs. the Mutos, way better than Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. It's definitely impressive, but the last image that I want to go ahead and show you here is the image of MechaGodzilla versus Godzilla and Kong. So without Kong, honestly, there's no possible way that Godzilla would survive. And again, when you guys watch this movie, I need you guys to pay very close attention to MechaGodzilla's MO, because MechaGodzilla was not concerned with Kong at all. It doesn't matter what Kong did, MechaGodzilla would either just swipe him away or just kind of knock Kong off and focus more primarily on Godzilla. So that kind of goes to show you that the way they programmed MechaGodzilla was assumingly only to hunt down Godzilla, but once again, it looks as though he went haywire and his brain was being controlled by the essence of King Ghidorah, which I also want to point out that if you guys stop and listen very carefully to MechaGodzilla as he fights Godzilla, you can actually hear King Ghidorah's, I guess you could say, roar, or the sound that he makes when he was in combat with Godzilla, which I think was really cool. So in case you guys are wondering, MechaGodzilla sounds exactly like the robotic Godzilla that you guys would find on YouTube, but if it were not for Kong jumping in, and if it were not for Kong kind of asserting his position in helping out Godzilla, then both of them would be dead. Both of them would be destroyed, and that really goes as far as to shed light on the impact that MechaGodzilla had in this movie, only because he is, I would say, a force of nature. He went in there, he thrashed them both. Only due to plot convenience did we see our monsters kind of prevail, but there's no question that once you guys see the double team, once you guys see MechaGhidorah's impact and the level of brutality that he offers, you guys are really going to be impressed. So if you guys live in India, or if you guys live in China, or if you guys live in Japan, or if you guys live somewhere out there where the movie is out right now and you guys have seen it, then drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, for those that just heard all of the information and screenshots shown, then I want to go ahead and get your thoughts as to how you guys feel about the movie, and just your initial approach on the future of the MonsterVerse. Are we going to see more movies, or in your opinion, is this the end? So again, thank you all so much for watching, thank you all so much for your time. If of course you guys are new to the channel, smash that subscribe button, give this video a big fat thumbs up by slapping that like button down below, tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a great day everybody, and take care. Peace.